go out and execute it, it's not going to matter. But any questions?
Coach, on the depth chart, Derwin James isn't starting. Do you plan on starting him in the season, or?
We'll see how the week goes. Guys, young guys taking in the game plan, seeing how they catch on in a couple of days. It's not like training camp anymore. We're going specific game plans for people, and if they catch on quickly, then, yeah, they'll be out there on the field.
They've had Alex Smith for many years. What do you think of their new quarterback? How does that change that team?
Well, you haven't seen much of him. I know him. He went to my alma mater. I've seen him play for a lot of years. I know he's very talented. He has a strong arm. He can move around. And so they didn't show everything they're going to do in preseason. So who knows? That's why we have to be more focused on ourselves this week, make sure that we're sound, we're disciplined, our techniques are tight, because you don't know what they're going to do.
Anthony, how much more difficult is it to prepare for week one, especially a team like this has a new quarterback you don't really know? Does it require more time? Is it just more difficult?
Well, normally you have the whole off season to get ready for this game, so the fear is doing too much because you know so much. But we know we know what we know. They're not going to change too much. But they do have a new quarterback, and I'm sure they have some new wrinkles for him. They lost some guys on defense, so they may do some things differently on defense. But we just have to pick up on the adjustments throughout the game and see where it goes from there.
Coach, how much do you look at that Week 17 tape of him from last year, or did they kind of keep things pretty vanilla for him?
We saw that game. He played well in that game, and he just came in and ran their offense.
Coach, what is it like? I mean, obviously, first day of training camp, you have OTAs, but this is it.
It's a different vibe. It is a different vibe. The focus is there. It's more business-like. And guys know. They know what's at stake now.
Anthony, how has the addition of Mike Pouncey changed what you can do up front, and how is he acclimated with the rest of that group?
Well, I love, Mike's a skillful center, but I love the intangibles that he brings in the leadership category. His whole demeanor. He brings a little alpha dog up front, and I can see that a little bit, especially with the younger players. So he's been good for our football team.
What are you hoping to see from Antonio Gates in limited action this weekend?
Well, I'm going to watch him closely this week. I want to know where he's at conditioning-wise. We know that he can help us. That's why we brought him back. And I don't know how much yet, but we'll see.
Is he going to practice today, Coach?
He's going to practice today, yes.
How much did he do Monday, and could you really tell anything?
He was taking physicals Monday. He did sign his contract, so he didn't really do anything Monday.
Do you like the fact you're playing the Chiefs here right out of the gate, who's supposed to be maybe your biggest competition?
No, I do, because they're the best team in our division, and I think right away we get to see where we stack up against the best, and that's all you can ask for as a coach and an athlete.
Anthony, you've got a quarterback who's at least a decade older than most of his receivers, a generation older than a lot of his offensive linemen. How does he communicate? How does he bridge that gap with those guys? And what do you see from him as a veteran in terms of communicating with younger players?
Oh, he's a good leader, and I think good leaders, they always find a way to communicate with the people that they're around, and it's intentional. I've seen him go to dinner with guys that that are a lot younger than he is. So, Philip has his own unique way of doing that. That hasn't been a problem at all.
It seemed like last year, early on, you and Wiz were trying to figure out the balance between your two philosophies. Do you feel much better at this point heading into year two?
Oh, no doubt. Just being here for another year around the same players and coaching staff, we have a pretty good idea of what we do best and where we need to focus.
On Saturday, the Raiders traded Khalil Mack. Did you guys breathe a sigh of relief that you guys don't have to face him twice a year?
Never crossed my mind. I'm focused on Kansas City right now. Yeah.
Is last year's poor start still a focal point? Is that still brought up at all?
No, not at all. No, you can't take the wins and losses from last year over to this year. So I don't even worry about that. I don't even talk about that. I do believe you can bring the culture over, and I like what I see from my guys from that perspective.
Anthony, you said KC is the best team in your division. How do you assess yourselves then against them?
Well, they've won the division. Back-to-back years. Until someone knocked them off, they're the division champs. That's the way it's always been.